Hey everybody, are you sick and tired of scrambling at the end of the week to get everything done on your to-do list? Or worse yet, you blow it off and let it all go and then feel like a failure? Well, join me right now. We're going to talk about my three-step approach to better planning so that you can fix this problem once and for all. So we have a three-step approach, right? And the reason why I brought this up is because my husband and I were laughing. We were talking about how our supervisors back during our career would never help us prioritize. And so they really just left it to us to prioritize. And most of the time we knew, but if we had too much on our plates, then we just had to choose which thing we failed on, right? Because we couldn't get it all done. And that's what I want to help you prevent, is to overload your sprints. Because when you overload your sprints, you tend to get, mad at yourself because you feel like you should have done better. So we have this three-step approach. Step one is mitigate. You want to mitigate what's going on. So once you have your sprint plan ready, so you have like everything on your plan, or not on your plan, but you've already pulled in the things that you would like to get done onto your Kanban board or whatever you're using to manage your to-do list. You've already pulled everything on there. So the first thing you want to do is look at at each and every one of those items and mitigate, right? Look for risks. What are the risks? Do you have a learning curve? Do you have a software issue that maybe is a problem that's going to stall your progress? Like for example, I'm using GrooveFunnels right now, and GrooveFunnels can be buggy. It's still in beta in a lot of its areas, but it's going to be a great software. And so I want to keep working at it and plugging away at it. But I need to know that it might take me extra time to get things done because I have this, this newer software that I'm using. So make sure you're mitigating any of the risks. And so first you want to look for those risks. You want to identify them. And if it's a learning curve or something like that, you want to make sure that you block out enough time to learn the things that you need to learn so that you can finish your work. You don't want to be scrambling at the last minute because you didn't plan for that learning curve. Okay, so that's the first one, is mitigate. The second one is estimate. So now that you have mitigated everything and you've looked at all the risks, you've identified learning curves, software problems, anything, internet problems, anything that might be slowing things down for you, now you want to take all those items and estimate how long it's going to take to do those things. So a good rule of thumb is, to just start with 1 hour. And think to yourself, is this thing going to take more than an hour or less than an hour? If it's going to take more than an hour, then you want to just keep incrementing up. Is it going to take more than 2, more than 3, more than 4? I highly recommend, if something that you have on your to-do list is going to take you more than 4 hours, you might want to break it down into smaller tasks that are estimatable, because the bigger the time that it's going to take, the more time it's going to take, the more chance for you to not estimate properly or not identify a risk that might be there that might hold you up in the long run. So be sure and break things down to nothing more than 4 hours. If you have something big you're creating, just break it down into smaller little milestones for yourself so that you can break down those tasks and more easily estimate. So I always start with that, 1 hour. And then if you have things that are going to only take about 15 minutes, be sure and flag those things, because those 15-minute tasks are great to use in, those small blocks of time that you have. Maybe you just have a few minutes, you can do something, you can sit down and do that, and you don't have to think about it because you've already flagged those 15-minute items that you can just grab really quick without sitting down and thinking, oh geez, what am I going to do? I want to do something, but what is it going to be? You already have everything flagged and you don't have to worry about that. So make sure you identify those little tiny things that you can do that only take 15 minutes or less. All right, and then number 3 is prioritize. So now you've looked at all the risks, you've identified any learning curve, anything like that that's going to slow you down. You've done your estimates, you know how long things are going to take. Now you've got to prioritize. If you have more time estimated than you have during the week to do your work, you definitely need to prioritize. And the good Scrum way to prioritize is the easiest method I have ever seen. I love this method. It's must have, should have, could have, and won't have at this time. When you prioritize that way, it's pretty easy for you to tell which things are the absolute must-haves, right? I mean, if somebody can't purchase something from you if you don't have a checkout page or you don't have some way for them to pay you. So you can think about that in terms of, well, should I automate this, or do I need to automate this, or can it be done manually? So actually a checkout page could be an optional. It could be a should have. Yes, I should have that checkout page, but I could take payments over the phone. I could meet with the person and take a payment that way as well. But if you want things to be automated, it's definitely a must-have. And so think about all the things that you're doing. If you're looking at the list, it's probably pretty easy for you to just highlight the ones with that are must-haves, or stick a big M by them, right? These are the ones I absolutely have to get done. And these are the ones I should get done. And these are the ones that, it would be nice if I have extra time, I could get this done too. And then you might even have some that won't have it this time. Like maybe you have a specific feature or something that you want to add, but you've decided that it's really out of scope for what you want to get done right now for your first, let's say, iteration through something. I'm all about continuous improvement. So we work in iterations, right? You iterate through, you do, you get your stuff out there, and then you keep improving on it until it's performing where you want it to perform. And you're always improving it, right? So your customers have a better experience, you are more proud of your work, and it's performing the way you want it to perform. So sometimes you might have a won't have feature. Think about the iPhone. When they first came out with the iPhone 1, they did not have a camera. I mean, back then it was just all about texting, right? We all were sick of trying to text on the little 9 number pad on the flip phone, right? And so they wanted to get something out there that people could actually use a keyboard and text, more easily, that kind of thing, and compete with that BlackBerry, but make it smarter and better. Well, now at the iPhone 13, or maybe they're coming out with a 14 soon, I don't know, they have a great camera, an amazing camera. So don't think just because you're eliminating something from your scope that you can't add that thing in later on down the road. That's the whole idea of Scrum, right? Is we create these pieces that are complete pieces that you can put out there into the world and get some feedback on, and then you just keep adding features and expanding what you offer and improving on what you offer and fixing any bugs and doing all those things to just make it better. But the whole point of this continuous improvement process is to let go of that perfectionism, right, and get your work out there. So if you are scrambling to get things done throughout the week, and you find yourself at the end, just working your tail off, just trying to, finish everything that you wanted to get done for the week, remember, mitigate, estimate, prioritize. Mitigate those risks and, estimate how long things are going to take, then prioritize by must have, should have, could have, and won't have it this time. All right, so drop me some comments if you guys have any questions, or you want to give some kudos if you like this video, hate this video. I'd love your feedback. So please let me know how things are going, and I will see you guys in the comments.